Okay, well, when I was in college, I went to the University of Virginia and I played football, and I can remember taking my helmet off, and my girlfriend at the time, my present wife, would always say, you know, when you take your helmet off, you look so much older than everybody else because you have this receding hairline. Then when I would go back to college, you know, people would see me and they go like, ah, Jeff, you know, you look just like you did in college. And I'd say, yeah, except, you know, my hairline's receded. And they look at me and they go like, no, it hasn't. So that was, I've had kind of this receding hairline most of my adult life. So it's one of the things, I guess, in the back of my mind, I always thought maybe to do something about that would be of interest to me. Well, I had heard about it, and then I was with a friend of mine about 2.5 years ago, and he came in and said, listen, I was just out in California, and I had this hair replacement or hair transplant done, and I looked at him and I'm like, huh, that's pretty neat. And I said, so was it difficult? Because I'm kind of an anti-surgery guy. So he said, no, it was actually simple. He said it was one day sitting in a chair, very relaxed and comfortable. And, you know, I was kind of shocked by the fact that they could take hair from one part of your head, plant it in another part of your head, and it would actually grow. So when I saw him, the success he had with that, I immediately, I'd say within the next few days, called down to Dr. Mendelsohn, since I knew that they did hair replacement, and asked for a consultation to find out, you know, what it was about. The consultation was very simple. They showed me the before and after results of doing a hair transplant. I asked, you know, how minimal the surgery was, since I really wasn't looking for a major surgery. The fact that they don't put you, you know, under other than to, you know, inject some areas in your where they're doing the where they're taking the hair from. They do some injections as far as numbing the pain, pretty much like having your teeth pulled or having any dental work. That seemed pretty simple to me because I'm a little bit afraid of you know, being put to sleep. So that just seemed simple, and I just it was probably more of a spur of the moment. The fact that I was so pleased with what this friend of mine had done that I was pretty much convinced by the time I walked in here that if it was non-invasive and easy to do, that I would just do it. You know, my experience was fantastic. I got here early in the morning. They asked me to show up at, I think, 5:30 or 6 o'clock. Sat in a chair, watched TV. Didn't really know what to expect. I didn't go that far as checking it out as far as exact detail, because I'm not a great detail person. But it was very relaxed. The gals that did it were very professional. As I say, I watched TV. I fell asleep a little bit. I had just some minor sedatives, and it just seemed, you know, pretty much painless. I wasn't probably sure exactly how much hair or where they were going to take it from. I thought it was going to be a smaller amount, though I had a fairly major amount of hair transplanted. And so they took a strip of hair across the back of my head. No pain, and you know, by the time I was done, it was probably, I guess, maybe, you know, 8 hours. But it seemed very relaxing, and the time went very fast. And I kind of probably dozed in and out a little bit while I was watching TV and talked to the girls. And as I say, it was I'd recommend it to anybody. It was a very, very enjoyable experience. You know, probably, you know, you have to be careful for a couple weeks on washing your hair, and then also because of the area that they take the hair from across the back of your head, and then they have to put, pretty much clamp that back together. It was, I probably had to sleep kind of in a sitting up position for probably about 6 or 7 days because it wasn't that comfortable to lay back on my head. But I'm great at sleeping in that position, so that wasn't very uncomfortable, didn't bother me. I don't think I took anything more than just some over-the-counter pain relievers. Didn't really feel anything, and I'd say probably within a couple months things started to grow, and it just kept going and going, and ever since it's been growing. And in fact, probably one of the more unique things that happened was when people saw me probably a couple months later, or 3 or 4 months later, when the hair was starting to grow, everyone would come up to me and go like, "Jeff, gosh, you look like you've lost a lot of weight." In essence, what I did was my hair had changed, so maybe I looked thinner. So, all positive. Yeah, I think it's pretty shocking that you can take basically a hair from one area and basically just make a small little indentation and stick the hair in, and and it will grow. I mean, I assumed that areas that were bald were either where I came up with this, I don't know, but that was an area that was dead and nothing could happen. But it's exact opposite. You stick a viable hair follicle in, and it grows in areas that you would never think that it would come back. I'm a pretty confident person anyways, but so the answer to that is probably I feel better about the way it looks, which I guess gives me a better feeling, confidence-wise. I think the fact that that I did that, then it also spurred me on to actually go ahead and lose weight, so I'm back to the same weight I was when I was in college, believe it or not. And I'm sure it's not all in the same proportion, but it spurred me on to, maintain a better, weight and probably a better image. Yeah, I'm an athlete, or an ex-athlete, I guess I should say, but I walk probably 3 or 4 miles a day. I swim 1,000 meters a day, and then I usually carry my golf clubs 2 or 3 days a week for 18 holes. So I've always tried to stay in pretty good shape. I think it inspires you, the fact that you went and did the surgery or the hair transplant, that it encourages you to go ahead and make sure that you didn't just do it for nothing, and that you might as well get the rest of your body in vogue with what you did. So I would recommend it for anybody that wants to do it. I think it's a simple process. It really works well, and it really isn't, really doesn't take any time other than there's really no recovery time as such, other than to wait for your hair to grow and maybe a little bit of discomfort in having the area where they took the hair from to heal. But that's, it doesn't bother your daily thing. I think the same day that I had it done, since I'm in this office building, I was back in my office by 4 o'clock, talking on the telephone and, back to work. So it's a very easy process, and I think it really worked out well for me.
What's your wife have to say about it?
She was all encouraged by it. She thought it was a great idea, and that if it's something that I wanted to do, needless to say, she was a big supporter.
Is there anything else you want to add?
I just have to say that as I say, I'm glad I did it. I think the people here at Dr. Mendelsohn's were fantastic. The girls that did it did a great job. I don't, have any experience with people that outside of this, but if you want to have it done, this is probably as good a place as any to do it.